All right, let's start with the big story that we are tracking this morning on Wion, where the Sri Lankan President Maithripala Sirisena has rejected the no-confidence motion that took place in the Sri Lankan Parliament yesterday. In a letter which Maithripala Sirisena has put out, he has defended the appointment of Mahinda Rajapaksa as the Prime Minister and has also gone on to claim that he was appointed as per the provisions under the Constitution. Now, Sirisena has also accused the Speaker Karu Jayasuriya of ignoring and violating the constitutional provisions. And these were the very unfortunate scenes that unfolded in the Sri Lankan Parliament yesterday. The mace, which represents a symbol of authority, had to be taken out from the floor of the House as some members of the Mahinda Rajapaksa camp wanted to go and snatch that mace from that Speaker. And also, Maithripala Sirisena has said that his decisions are in keeping with the provisions and the traditions of the Sri Lankan Constitution. And also, Sirisena has further claimed that it is not necessary for the Prime Minister sworn in by the President to show a majority on the floor of the House. He's also alleged that the Parliament has in fact tried to override the constitutional powers that have been vested in the office of the President. Meanwhile, Ranil Wickremesinghe's party, the UNP, has claimed the support of at least 122 parliamentarians and has also submitted a letter with their signatures to the Speaker. All right, now for more on this, we are joined in by our correspondent, Ashwin Hematagama, who is joining us live from Colombo. Good morning to you, Ashwin. There are developments that are taking place thick and fast in Colombo. What is the latest that's unfolding in Sri Lanka?
Well, in fact, the Parliament sat a few minutes ago and the session is already started. Unfortunately, both Mahinda Rajapaksa camp and Ranil Wickremesinghe camp both want to occupy the government seats. But unfortunately, the Sri Lanka Parliament can accommodate only a little over 100 on each side. So there's a clash between the two camps for the seating arrangements at the moment. When we go inside the main chamber, we were unable to see any from the opposition members. None were there. So that is one aspect of it. And seriously, the security is tightened around the Parliament and inside the Parliament premises as well. So in other words, they are expecting clashes most probably to take place and civil unrest.
Absolutely indeed. And also we saw what took place in the Parliament yesterday. Now, what is likely to happen here? Because Maithripala Sirisena is not backing down. He's come forth and said that a Prime Minister appointed by the President does not need to prove his majority on the floor of the House. So what is the constitutional position on this matter?
According to sources, Mr. Rajapaksa has met President Sirisena as well as Mahinda Rajapaksa as well, and they would have discussed the future. Probably because now, according to sources, they have had a lengthy conversation, and we are expecting Mr. Rajapaksa to address the nation in a short while, probably within course of the day. And he might have to come out with his plan, either to step down, making room, allowing Ranil Wickremesinghe to take over and move forward. But unfortunately, at this moment, President Sirisena is not willing to accommodate Mr. Rajapaksa or his supporters.
All right, do continue to stay on with us, Ashwin Hematagama. These are the developments that are presently unfolding in Sri Lanka, where the constitutional crisis, it appears, is now throwing up a number of possible questions. Now, the present situation is that both Ranil Wickremesinghe as well as Mahinda Rajapaksa camps are actually claiming majority, but now it's been proven on the floor of the House that Rajapaksa hasn't got the numbers with him. United National Party insists that Wickremesinghe is in fact the legitimate Prime Minister, while the Sri Lanka People's Front is asserting that it is Rajapaksa who continues to be the Prime Minister despite not enjoying a majority on the floor of the House. Both sides are in fact citing the Constitution to push their versions. Now, the tug of war, of course, is leaving its impact on the island nation. Governance is in a bit of a flux. Decision-making has badly suffered as the country does not know as to who the Prime Minister is at this point of time. It is only President Sirisena who remains in command and is in fact calling the shots. He remains the Supreme Commander of the Armed Forces. He controls the Defence Forces and has full authority over the military and also the police. Now, over the next few weeks, the battle will shift, of course, to the apex court. It remains to be seen as to what happens there. The rival camps have got time till the 19th of November to file their objections. The hearing of the petition will continue on the 4th, the 5th and then again on the 6th of December. And a verdict is expected most likely on the 7th of December. All right, now these are the possible scenarios and this is what is likely to happen because the matter is now going to go to the Supreme Court. And Ashwin, if I can bring you in on this. Now, we saw what happened when the Supreme Court, in fact, ruled that the dissolution of the Parliament session, that was considered as null and void, that was ruled as null and void by the Supreme Court. Now, with this no confidence motion not being accepted by Sri Lanka, will this now be challenged again in the court?
Well, according to the President Sri Lanka, there's an impact over the Supreme Court judgment because in his letter he has directly charged Speaker Karu Jayasuriya that he has done something unconstitutional, allowing the motion to take place because it could have some sort of an impact on the judgment. But nevertheless, Sri Lanka Supreme Court is an independent body because yesterday they have given a decision on another controversial law which is about Prevention of Terrorism Act, which was not much highlighted due to this ongoing crisis in the country. So they have, in that particular judgment, they have held that the Supreme Court has held it is unconstitutional to bringing the amendments to the current PTA Act. So it has not supported the government. So which means, in other words, the Supreme Court is still independent and they might come out with a better version in the days to come.
Absolutely, indeed. We'll have to leave it there. Thank you very much indeed, Ashwin Hematagama, for joining us and getting us the latest from Sri Lanka.